National Assembly member for Nyamina West to be laid to rest this Friday. Members of the Rohingya diaspora expressed gratitude to Gambia for the ruling by ICJ. Uganda works to scale up avocado productions to compete for greater share in the global market. These and more stories coming on the world today. Hello, it is 1900 GMT here in our studios in Banjul. You are watching The World Today on Africa TV. I am Amadou Kante, and now the news in detail. Testifying on behalf of his brother at the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission on Thursday, Omar Fofana said Bakausu Fofana paid the price of going against the will of the Supreme Islamic Council. The witness explained how Imam Fofana got arrested and tortured under the Jammeh-led administration for just doing his job. Juldinjai has more details of that in this report.
Omar Fofana told the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission that the incarceration of his brother Imam Bakausu Fofana during the Jammeh regime was due to his difference in opinion with the country's governing Islamic Council. Explaining events leading to arrest and subsequent torture of the Imam, Omar Fofana said it all began when the teachings of Bakausu became more popular than the calls of the council, especially on matters of dates to observe the Muslim festivals.
Itoloko tamani yamenin Gambia betalan saba konesa kankula wala talana ko sama bekela saloti wala sama bekela sunra atan tulla jantilo fa mumbo ko Bakausu ko ta kenola.
Well, here, as far as sometimes, when the day is around 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 p.m., when it's announced from other countries, Bakausu will, they want us to pray on that day. But Bakausu said that's impossible. As far as it is around 3 p.m. here, the sun has not set. You have not sighted the moon. So how can you say that you are going to pray on the following day when the sun has not yet set for you to look for the moon?
As a result, the council called Bakausu in a meeting and tried to convince him to stop going against their decisions, but the latter chose to maintain his stance despite the presence of the security. He said the leader of the council, Mamadou Lamin Toure, felt that his brother was bent on undermining the council's efforts.
If you go
to these recording studios where they record these cassettes and sell them, you find a lot of Bakausu's cassettes, recorded cassettes, being sold at these recording studios. If he announces that, let's fast on so and so day, or let's pray on so and so day, people disagree with them. They only listen to Bakausu's announcement.
The 44-year-old said Bakausu questioned why couldn't they ask former President Jammeh to sponsor their trip to Saudi to engage top scholars on the matter if they believed that he was wrong. At that juncture, he said the council's executive member, together with the then Imam of State House, threatened to ban him from preaching.
Then that's the time when Abdullah Fati got up and told Bakausu that what we want, you have been preaching here for over 20 years. We want you to stand and tell the whole world that, because the whole world listens to you. And that whole world, you tell them that whatever you have said to them has all been lies. There is no single truth in your preaching. The council people are the truthful people.
He said Bakausu's refusal angered Abdullah Fati. As a result, he handed a letter to him, giving a copy to the Inspector General of Police and GRTS, banning him from attending any Islamic conference or partaking in any Islamic events. The situation of Bakausu Fofana was one in a series of attacks on religious freedom under the leadership of former President Yahya Jammeh. Bakausu has been subjected to a series of arrests and detention for disagreeing with the Supreme Islamic Council. For iAfrica News, I am Juldenjai.
From that report on the ongoing proceedings at the TRC, next we head to Zimbabwe, where residents in Harare raise concern as they continue to face shortage of quality drinking water despite promise from authorities to remedy the situation. Officials say due to the drainage system and illegal connections, they lose a lot of income, which is further complicating the problem. Details of that in this report.
The laborious search for water is the order of the day for some of Harare's residents who haven't had regular tapped water supplies for close to a decade. Despite promises by city fathers to improve the situation, there's been none.
At present, they tell us that they are pumping around 450 megaliters a day. Unfortunately, 60% of that treated water is being lost along the water distribution network through leakages and illegal connections. So as ratepayers, what we find disturbing is their lack of acceptance of their full responsibility for the provision of social services like water.
An aging pipe network and shortages of treatment chemicals, both of which the municipality can't fix because of financial constraints, mean Harare residents may have to live with the challenges for a while longer.
We are not getting enough money from the consumers of our services because people are not paying. Right now we are owed almost close to $1 billion, over 900 million, which we are owed by our customers. So if that money were to be paid, it means the city would be able to fund its mandates.
The city insists the capital's water is safe.
Our water is very good, our water meets standards, our residents are drinking it and they are alive.
But not everyone here is drinking the intermittently available water.
I'm afraid of rust because our pipes, they are too old now. So I think it's not safe. Maybe if you can, I can boil it first, yeah. If I boil it first, because I don't know if they are chemicalizing the water or they are not. But it's not safe.
His fears could be justified. When heated up, a thick film of residue forms on the surface of council-supplied water. And even after it's brought to the boil, particles of debris are still swirling in this water. It's not known what impact they might have if consumed, but whatever it is, it can't be good. The city recently suspended 4 water engineers on charges that include neglect of duty, part of a drive to address the long-running service deficiencies.
From that report there in Harare, Zimbabwe, we come back home and talk matters of the 3Th Jotna, because leaders of the operation 3Th Jotna have cried of bad treatment in the hands of the police. They were arraigned before the Kanifi Magistrate Courts on Wednesday on charges of unlawful assembly, rioting and demolition structures. Thereafter, the group was sent to the remand wing of the country central prison in Mile 2, but not before they explained of the lack of food and water there.
Everyone has to know that where we sleep, it was like the way the donkeys were putting people. There was no water provided for us, no food provided for us. Really. We stayed with them for almost 3 days without no water, without no nothing. No, we were not maltreated, but we were not given any food. And we were doing everything in the same place. But anyway, stay calm. We'll free you people, no problem.
Their arrest and detention came after a clash between protesters calling for the resignation of President Adama Barrow clashed with the personnel of the Police Intervention Unit on Sunday. Journalists were among the list of arrests, with 2 radio stations shut down in the process. From that, we talk on the Rohingya. Of course, they have reacted to the ICJ's ruling. The European Rohingya Council has expressed gratitude to the Gambia for taking up their case to the International Court of Justice through the Ministry of Justice. The organization of the Rohingya in the diaspora received the Gambia's Attorney General, Abubakar Tambere, together with his legal team in The Hague following the ICJ's ruling on behalf of the Rohingya Muslim 1 week ago. The court ruled that the Republic of the Union of Myanmar shall, in accordance with the obligations under the Genocide Convention, take all measures to prevent the killing of the Rohingya group. The provisional measures include the prevention of the body or mental harm, physical destruction of the Rohingya, and measures to prevent barbs within the group. And from that development, we will now take a break and come back shortly with the remaining of the story. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You are watching The World Today on Africa TV, and now to the rest of the stories. The National Assembly in Banjul will hold a state funeral for National Assembly member for Nyamina West Demba Sow on Friday. The late parliamentarian passed away on the 24th January in the Kingdom of Morocco. His body is expected back to the Gambia this evening. In one of his latest engagements at the National Assembly, Honorable Sow is remembered for his desire for youth empowerment. This insight shows his real style at the National Assembly.
So the government should do something on those things so that, the youth will be engaged. Let them engage youth so that, sensitize them to stop it going on the street, sitting on the street, drinking attar the whole day, the whole night. You see? At the end, if you don't have it, you must go and steal. Just day before yesterday, they went and steal my sheep.
President Adam Amara on Thursday sent condolences to the Speaker of the National Assembly on the sudden death of the National Assembly member for Nyamina West. He described the demise of Honorable Sow as a great loss to his family, the National Assembly, as well as the entire nation. President Barrow said that Honorable Sow's political engagement towards the advancement of democracy was admirable. He will be laid to rest in his home village, Nana village, in the Nyamina West on the same day. May his departed soul rest in peace. Now, daily prayers as the month of fasting are two of the 5 pillars of the Islam rooted from the Holy Quran for Muslims across the world, but a follower of a self-proclaimed prophet in the Gambia told the Truth Seeking Commission that Serin Digal from Kermot, Hali in the Upper Salon district, told them to practice differently. Mr. Sise told the TRC that Serin Digal was knowledgeable among his siblings, which made him victorious in uniting the villages of Kermot Hale, which his father Serin Basiru Seka failed to achieve in life. Details of that by Binta Sise.
A follower of the late Serin Digal in Ker Mahmoud Hali village revealed that his scholar was arrested under the Jammeh-led government for charges of money laundering and illegal possession of weapons. The government argued that the scholar had planned to overthrow the government of former President Yahya Jammeh. Digal was arrested in October 2002 and reduced to a layman in society by operatives of the then government.
Digal daf dey jaay drogue.
They accused him that he was peddling drugs.
Waaw ñu delu wax ne Digal dafa am machine bo xamne daf dey defar xaalis.
And they also accused him that he has a machine which makes money.
Waaw delu waxit ne Digal dafa am ay ngana yo xamne mom la paré pour overthrow government Yahya Jammeh bi.
And they also said Ndigal had weapons which he wanted to use to overthrow Yahya Jammeh's government.
Wow, tuumal yoy nak mo waralon ba October of 2002.
Because of those accusations, October 2002,
si lañ ñew arrest Ndigal.
They came and arrested Ndigal.
Ku ñew wax Tatin Baji mo jité won arrest bobu.
A man called Tatin Baji was the person who led the arrest team, the arresting team.
Yunusa Sise, one of the followers of Mohammed Habibullah Sek in Ker Mahmad Hali village, made this disclosure before the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission on Wednesday. He described Serin Digal as a Marabu in Ker Mahmud Ali, otherwise called the instructor, who was gifted with spiritual strength to draw his followers closer to God. He added that 3 days after the Eid prayer at the time, Mohammed Habibullah Sek gave a public lecture through which he announced his divinity. This controversial group that replaced the 5 daily prayers with Islamic songs known as Sikar under the leadership of Ndigal experienced tough time to the extent of being expelled from the Gambia. His expulsion was declared null and void by the court, but the ruling was never implemented until he died in exile to Senegal. Reporting for iAfrican News, I am Binta Sise.
And from the report there by Binta Sise, we'll head to Uganda, where farmers in the country are now giving more attention for the production of avocado, as it has become the popular in the global market. Ugandans now compete others in the rest of the world in the exportation of avocado in the order to boost the GDP. Let's have more details of that in this report.
Uganda's new green gold. Avocado is a tropical evergreen fruit tree found in most home gardens in Uganda. As the world strives to eat more healthily, the demand for the fruit is picking up, and local farmers are shifting away from less profitable crops to the highly valued avocado.
Avocado has been discovered to be the most complete fruit on earth. It is the only fruit that has monounsaturated fats. It is food. It is a complete food that anyone that pays attention to eating healthy would go for.
Figures from market analysts Research and Markets put the global consumption of avocados in 2018 at $9.3 billion. They say it's growing at a rate of 5% a year, and some of the varieties here in Africa are considered the world's finest. The Hass avocado variety is the most desired breed. Agronomists say it has a short maturity cycle of only 2.5 years, and a single tree like this one can produce at least 1,000 fruits or 200 kilograms per annum. Kenya is the largest exporter of avocados in Africa, according to the International Trade Center, but Uganda is hoping to catch up, taking advantage of year-round seasonality to grow the fruit. The country is hoping to capitalize on growing demand in markets like China, as well as a decline in production in countries such as Mexico and South Africa.
Here in Uganda, we are receiving a lot of rainfall, so we're having a wet season that is well spread throughout the year. Even the very tough times like January, February, we are always receiving rains maybe twice in a month, which makes it really, really okay with avocados.
Uganda's target is to plant 500,000 hectares of avocado trees. Several agribusiness companies have already started setting up nurseries to support farmers with high-yielding plants. The plan is expected to help the country raise revenues and grow its export market, but higher prices will also provide a boost to smallholder farmers.
From that report there in Uganda, finally we head to Nigeria, where an artist in the country has crafted his way out through artistic work and creativity to inspire other people in Africa and beyond. He used social media to promote his unique skill with designs that portray global icons. Let's have more details of that in this report.
Artists use pencils and brushes to express their art. Omotoyosi Ogunlende basically uses strings and nails. He's used unconventional materials like wood, hammer, strings and nails to design remarkable portraits of legends like Fela Kuti, Bob Marley, Wole Soyinka and many others. He first conceptualizes the outcome he intends to achieve, nails it down on wood and uses a series of intricate patterns to string the piece to life. Despite its awe-inspiring beauty, string art is uncommon and relatively unknown in this part of the world. Few people patronize it, and that has been a challenge for string artists like Toyosi. But with the help of social media, he's gradually making a case for his art form.
It's not a widely accepted, form of art in this part of the world, because trying to push it out there, trying to market it, trying to get people known. I also leverage on social media, which is my Instagram handle. I also push it on social media, Facebook, which that's for many artists right now That's our own gallery.
Toyosi started out as a sculptor before encountering and falling in love with string art at an art conference in South Africa. The uniqueness of the art inspired him to dig deeper into it, and 4 years later, his own art has become an inspiration to others.
A lady sometimes back on Instagram, she's a cake maker. You know, she just posted it and said my string art inspired her to produce this kind of cake, you know, and I was, wow, oh, amazing. There's a lady too in Brazil that has been chatting me up, you know, she's also a string artist and trying to ask me questions, how she can go about this, how she can go about that. So for me, it goes a long way. So you never can tell how many people you've been able to inspire or touch their lives.
It's general knowledge that creatives don't usually get paid anything commensurate with their work. But Toyosi believes that eventually his hard work would pay off.
Nothing brings money, but how diligent, how good, persistent, and creative you are with that thing you do, it will bring the money. So for me, what you do with your hands, diligently, wisely, persistently, will definitely bring that money.
Beyond monetary rewards, Toyosi says his greatest joy on the job is impacting his knowledge of string art to others. He currently organizes classes to teach kids and adults how to string and is pushing for the art to take center stage in Africa.
Yes, quite a beautiful and inspirational artistic work there in that report. And of course, that's all we have for you in this today's World Bulletin. But for more on this and other stories, you can also log on our website on iafrica.tv. Once again, I am Amadou Kante, and bye for now.